Ain't this a surprise? Ah!
Don't mean to be rude, but I'm too busy to talk right now. Need something? No offense, but you're not looking so good. Are you feeling ill? Yes? Oh, did you need something? 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 Need something?
Well, it's been a long 5 days. 5 long, incredibly strange days gone by. And hopefully, I'm sure they have been. I'm praying that they have been. Our apples will have been ready. Will have decanted well enough to finally be putting our cider into production. Making sure that everything is perfectly fine, making sure that we can bottle it, sell it, and finally open our cider house. Right, so there's not enough juice in the press. Right, so is it decanted? Fermenting. All barrels are closed. Right, okay, so this is what I remember from my few tests before on this mod. So what you've got to do, and this is where these barrels outside come in, these little named barrels for Iverstead and Morthal and all the other different places around Skyrim. That it looks like it's deliveries. It looks like it's made for deliveries, but it's not really, not at the moment. It's just going to be for creating cider just for the cider house itself. So what you've got to do is you've got to go upstairs along this rickety little planks, and you've got to open up a couple of barrels. Well, we're close to Whiterun, so we'll open up the Whiterun barrel. There we go. And I'm not sure entirely how much cider you can fit in one of these barrels, so I'll open up a couple of others. We'll open up the Riverwood barrel. And then finally, we'll go back along. No, we'll go along here and then open the. Where's that? Morthal. Not really a big fan of Morthal. I do like Iverstead. Iverstead's okay. So let's turn those on and let's go back downstairs. I don't really want to be making a habit of jumping from the upstairs balcony onto the downstairs, simply because it might scare our customers if I do it too much. Although they may think me some sort of innkeeper acrobat. Maybe that would be my selling point. But we'll see how it goes. I don't think I'll really make a big meal out of it. Oh no! The honey brew mead. We seem to have a ghost. So I won't piss the ghost off by putting the mead back up. I'll just leave it there. I'm sure if I tried again, it would just fall over again. So let's try fermenting it. Right, cider has been moved to the Whiterun barrel. Nothing happens. Right, so amazingly, the Whiterun barrel can hold a lot of cider. Then again, it is a very large barrel, and hopefully we won't have our barrel drunk dry in the first night or two. we do actually need to create more cider. We can't just have a one-time only sort of pop-up cider house. So, the next thing you've got to do, when you can see the cider sloshing around in the barrel, you can't see it, but you can certainly imagine it, is you go downstairs, and then what you do... Oh, no. You go upstairs, right? So, what we've... I'm completely losing track here. So, our orders from Bellathor, right? We've ordered a few bottles. They've been delivered straight to the cider house. I've taken the liberty to place our empty cider bottles. You see, we have 51. I'm guessing that extra one would be, you know, just on the house, really. Special offer from Bellathor. Still possibly trying to make amends for his best customer who he insulted. So we'll take those bottles. And then most likely we're going to be over encumbered. No, we're not actually, surprisingly. I would have thought carrying over 50 bottles would be awkward enough for any man, but Enwar seems to be doing alright. He still has his cloak on. I think we should take off his cloak. We'll take off his hat. There we go, that's more like it. So, we'll place... Where do I place the bottles? Right, bottling output, empty bottles loader, let's put that in there. And then we'll... Oh, we have a lot of cloaks, we do. Well, you know, his... Enwar's fashion sense. Got it. A man's got to have a few different cloaks. We picked up a few other things on the way from that montage back there. I'll probably sell a load of it. I don't really want to be carrying around the standard Skyrim plethora of equipment. I do usually like to keep it as small as possible. Right. Bottles. Empty bottles, wherever they are, let's put those in there. Right, so it says it's empty, but the machine does actually have 51 bottles in there. So the final piece of the puzzle, the final thing that we have to do in the cider making process is to use this grand bottling machine. It's a very complicated bottling machine, I've got to say. But that lever, we won't press it just yet. We won't pull it just yet, I should say, because these little things along here, that's where they're connected to the barrels. I believe I've explained that before, or hopefully I have. So it's hard to tell which one's coming from where. The signs aren't very well lit. I believe that's Whiterun. Yeah, that should be Whiterun. So. Oh, okay, the fermentation process is not finished. Damn! So, we're still going to be waiting for this cider. Please, bottling machine, I beg of you, please ferment faster. Yes! Yes! Right, so, finally, after days and days and weeks and years and months, we have finally created cider. It's all fermented, it can all be bottled. And our final part of the cider brewing process, the cider bottling process, the cider bottling lever will be pulled, or pushed in this case, pushed upwards. And we will have our cider to do with as we want. Right, so let's get that lever going. The bottling process is complete. That took no time at all. Amazingly, it's the only part of the entire process that did not take an absolute age to do. So let's open up our bottling output, and here we are. 51 ciders at 2 gold coins apiece. So a little bit of maths together gives us 106 gold for all that cider. Now, you may think it's not worth it, but it is our very first batch. Later on, we can actually make our cider more expensive as demand grows, as we improve the recipe. But for now, this is our first batch of cider. And far be it from anyone to not celebrate, I think we'll have a bottle of it to ourselves. Where is it? There it is. 54 cider. Somehow we have 3 extra bottles of cider. So let's have a bottle. There we go. No effect whatsoever on it. Well, we don't really want to be get drunking. Get drunking? There's an interesting way of putting it. We don't really want to get drunking right next to heavy machinery. So we'll put our cider in the cider cooler. We'll add 25 bottles to the cider cooler. And we'll put the rest in our chest here. Because, oh no, I accidentally drank that. I was holding shift. So, Anwar's going to be drinking himself dry. So, we'll put the rest in the chest. We don't really want to be filling the cooler with too many bottles. As you can see, it's not a very big cooler. So, you don't want to overstock it. You might get some broken glass as a result of that. Let's go outside, let's check the time, let's check the weather and see whether we can open our cider house tonight. We'll make that decision. Hey. Well, you know, it's venison. You know, it's raining. It's raining now. We'll see what the time is. The time is 11 a.m. Now, it's my hope that the rain will hold off. So we'll see about that. Our apple trees are still doing quite well. They are magical after all. So, as you can see, our signs. This is the sign for the cider house. Very easy to spot, our little barrels here. But you'll notice that there is no actual sign above the door or hanging around anywhere about the cider house itself. Most importantly, our cider house does not have a name. Shockingly enough, I've neglected to actually name it. You know what? We'll give him a hat, a hood. We don't really want anyone to catch a cold on his first day on the job. Our cider house does not have a name. And this is a very important thing to add to a cider house. People do need to actually know where they're going and what they're doing. Well, I imagine they know what they're doing. That's a bit of a stupid question to ask. Though they need to know where they're going, and they need to have a name to pinpoint the cider house so that they can tell their friends about it and make sure it's all fine and dandy. So, we need to find a name for the cider house. You'll notice I am stalling because my own thoughts on the matter are undecided as of yet. So, we may have to rebrand the cider house at some point. Oh, hello there. It's a bit early, aren't you? Here to enjoy the scenery? Yep. We're not open just yet. So we'll back off. Yeah, you'll see these rowdy Imperial types around here. They're not taking very kindly to your own innocent Dunmer here. So, our little cider house up on the hill, upon the little crest up here. More travellers. It's a good time, really. It really is. To see so many people on the roads. It means that they'll probably come by this way and then see the hustle and bustle around the place, see the lights inside, and hopefully take a look. We need a name for the cider house. And that name will not be revealed yet. Needless to say, it is the only cider house in Skyrim for the moment. So until we come up with a good... Oh, hello. Anwar's legs showing through. So until we come up with a good name for the cider house, we'll actually just call it the cider house for the moment. People will know because it is the only cider house in Skyrim. So they'll know where to come for their delicious cider. They'll know it's just in the shadow of Whiterun. So a name would be good. But until we come up with a decent enough one, and I don't want to be going through a load of names before we find the right one. I don't want to be rebranding the cider house every week or so. We're going to make sure it's just called the cider house for the moment. If you want to submit a name for the cider house, if you want to let us know what would be a good name for this fine establishment, please get in touch. You may comment and I will read your comments and see what the name of this fine place should be. But for the moment, I'll try and get out of the rain as best I can. Are there any more travellers? No. Well, oh, hello Venison. Staring off at me. It's a bit weird, really. We'll go back inside and await the grand opening of our cider house.